Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. In the last part we continued on through Raccoon City and met Carlos's companions in the UBCS. And now we're going to continue on. You might remember last part we got the battery. And now we're going to put that to use. It's actually a fairly close location too. You might remember the hallway where we first met the Drain Deimoses 2 or 3 parts ago at this point. I've lost count. Probably 2 parts if I had to guess because if I recall part 2 was entirely RPD. We have to come over here. The Drain Deimoses really are just lickers in another form. However, they have the advantage of speed, more so, because these guys can jump. Either way, use the battery right there, and get the hell out of Dodge. And now we're heading down to the Sub-Station area. You could actually see this place on the map that I got earlier. And there's a lot of zombies here. And I'm not sure whether or not I can recommend taking them all out. Because there are a lot of them, but something's going to happen here to make things happen, and I'm not sure if that will kill them. Though, that right there is a bomb that we can use to kill them, which I'm going to anyway, because I like explosions. Michael Bay overuses them, but when they're done well in games, they're very satisfying. Get away from me. Just need to wait for them to slowly walk on over. Alright, that looks good. Come on, come on. There we go. Ah, feels good. That was probably a waste of like 4 bullets, but oh well. This door is locked from the other side, so we need to go through the other way to get to it. And coming up is another bit of randomization, but I'll get into why then. The major thing that's coming up in this next room is our next puzzle. Let's read these shutters. Low voltage control room, lock will be released at 15 to 25 volts. The other one has a higher amount of volts that it needs, I forget the exact. What's coming up is math, plain and simple. When operating the transformer, be sure to set this power transmitter to manual mode. The old system is prone to short-circuiting. Be careful not to exceed maximum levels when we set it to manual. Yes. Also down here, the gunpowders that I said could be in the gas station could be here. I was actually incorrect in saying they could be in the gas station. I was thinking of something else entirely for some reason. Either way, here comes the puzzle. Red means you're increasing by 15, blue means you're decreasing by 5, and those numbers are multiplied by what's above them. So in this case, 15 minus 5 times 1 equals, as I'm about to press, 45. Red equals 15 times 2 equals 75. And then I think it's blue again, which is 60. 120. I think the range for that is somewhere between 115 and 130. I'm not sure about that entirely. And this is a pretty important room to go in if you want to arm yourself well. Because the only thing that's in here is in that closet behind me. And what's in here? Oh, baby. It's a Magnum. One hit kill to most normal enemies. Major damage to everything else. Live selection time. We're either going to go through the emergency exit or increase electrical output. Increasing the electrical output will kill all the zombies. However, it'll change the puzzle solution. And I don't want to change the puzzle solution. Plus, something else happens if you go this direction. Stars. Once again, the time has come for Nemesis. And he starts off with the rocket launcher. However, if you're standing around here, as I've learned, he'll actually not be able to aim at you. And thus, he'll jump down, allowing us to get some shots off with the Magnum. The Magnum will do major damage to him. However, I don't even think the 6 bullets it comes with will be enough to actually down him through his first phase. He is a healthy... Okay, that's a sucker punch. Thanks, bro. Thankfully, he'll waste time trying to aim at you. And when he throws the thing like that, especially, he's very vulnerable to damage. Don't be afraid to heal if you need to. Yet again, first aid sprays are very useful in this game, especially on hard mode. If you're playing on easy mode, you're doing pretty well too. The one thing I don't think I've mentioned is when you're playing easy mode, you'll fight Nemesis, yes, and I think you'll do more damage to him or he'll have less health or he'll do less damage. I forget which one of those, honestly, the difficulty modes change. But you also won't get the items from him, so I wouldn't have the eagle, I won't be getting what I get from you won't even have the first aid box. So if anything, at times easy mode can be harder. Also, one thing I really should mention, I love Nemesis's battle theme. While I do think Resident Evil 3 doesn't have the best soundtrack out of the PlayStation trilogy, I think that's 2 all the way. It has some damn good atmospheric tracks. And there we go. And what are we going to get for beating him this time? This is our 4th of the main 7. The M37 Parts A. Basically, whereas we got the first 2 things, we got a new handgun. The 4th and 5th times, we're getting a new shotgun. And it's worth it. Either way, now we want to head back in. Even if we leave this area, he won't be there anymore. Because we want to do this puzzle again. This time we want to go for the lower number. This time we want to go with the pattern of red, blue, blue, blue. If you electrocuted the floor instead of escaping through the emergency exit, though, I think it's red, red, blue, blue. Because the stuff changes. And if you're playing along like speedrun-wise, you don't need to get the Magnum. You can actually just come in here, or grenade launcher, rather, because the grenade launcher could be where the Magnum was as well, just due to the randomization stuff. You can just come in here and grab that fuse, because that's what we need to progress. We need that for the trolley. But as for now, we're done. Also, exit through this path, because the zombies are still in that area. And they'll bite you a lot. And as I mentioned, Nemesis is gone. Either way, if you've been paying attention, we now have 3 of the 4 items we need to make the trolley work. The power cable is already in place. We just got the fuse there. However, we still need to make the mixed oil, and as the name mixed would suggest, there's 2 items to make it. We already have the machine oil, but we need to go get the last piece of it, and that's all the way back past the RPD even. This is what I mean, more so in particular that RE3 has a lot more back and forth compared to the prior 2 installments. Mind you, it only feels as bad because the area is fairly bland in comparison to the RPD or the Spencer Mansion. As well as just partner with the fact that there's more you're going across. Because there's no real shortcuts past some of these areas. Also, someone's in here shooting. I actually think that's supposed to be Carlos. Because I don't think Nikolai does anything, really. Also, fun little fact that's not even really important too much. I don't think there's an item in that car, by the way. Is that Nikolai's last name is misspelled in the right way. His last name is Genevieve, which they spell like Genovaef or something, but it's supposed to be the kind of spelling that starts with a Z, which is pretty funny in my eyes, honestly. Either way, we're going to store the M37 Parts A for now. You want to keep the wrench with you for right now, and I think I'm going to store the... Do I store the fuse? I don't know if I store the fuse. It doesn't matter either way, but eh. Yeah, I guess I'm not storing the fuse. I guess you don't really need to, honestly. I do recommend bringing the healing on him, though, because some stuff is going to happen. As well as just make sure your first aid boxes are maxed. Either way, now let's head back into the garage. As you're seeing there, something I do more in RE3 than I do 1 and 2 is that I check my inventory to make sure I have what I need. Because, as I've said before, due to lack of experience in this game compared to 1 and 2, I have to make sure and think ahead. And think, do I have enough ammo? Do I have all the items I need? So on and so forth. Which, it happens. I mean, that happened a lot in my early playthroughs of RE2, but nowadays I just have that game memorized. Don't bother with the dogs here once again. In fact, I think this is the last time we see these specific dogs. Also, one thing I should mention, this is a longer part than the previous few, as you might notice. But towards the end of the part, I'm actually going to be doing some jump cuts through some areas because nothing really happens, and there's nothing really to see. Fire hydrant. Fire hose affixed with bolts. Remember how we got the wrench? That allows us to get that fire hose, which we need in order to access the next area. Plus, we can now throw away the wrench. Let's head back to the RPD. Well, technically speaking, I think I have to go through the Drain Deimos hallway first, but eh. I think I've had a playthrough where I actually fought Nemesis in this room. Though I can't tell if that was because I ran away from him in a prior area. More than likely, I ran away from him in the Sub-Station area. But I know I fought him in there. Unless there's another conveniently S-shaped hallway, I just can't remember. And as you can see, now dogs have replaced enemies in here, so watch out for that. I think the way the randomization works with enemies is It's randomized for a certain section, and then it's that for that entire section of the game. Think is a keyword. Either way, this looks like a hose thing. There's a fire hydrant. If I had a fire hose, I might be able to extinguish the fire over there. I think you can add up what we have to do. Now we can progress through that passageway. However, I want to sidetrack myself back towards the earlier areas of the game, particularly the factory where Dario was at the very start, to grab some items. I could wait until I went down that other passageway that I just turned the fire off of to come down here, because that would allow me to grab another item. But I'll just make 2 trips in my eyes. It's a bit easier to do this now. But while we're on the way towards where the boutique was, technically, I might as well go over the costumes you can get for Jill in this game. You can only get these starting from New Game Plus onwards. What we got is a rider outfit, which is available in all versions, which is a bike rider kind of outfit, black leather suit, red belt, that kind of stuff. She has her Resident Evil 1 outfit, which is available in all versions. A white disco suit, available in all versions. A suit based off of Regina from Dino Crisis in all versions. Exclusive to the PC and Dreamcast version, there is a blue blouse and black pants outfit. A general GI outfit, which is exclusive to the Dreamcast, which is blue tank top, blue skirt, and brown boots. Basically, actually, that's like a recolor of her main outfit, now that I think about it. A black outfit, a black casual kind of outfit available only in the PC version, which is a black halter top, dark blue suit, and black boots. And then a red version of her normal outfit, only available in the GameCube version, which is a red tank top, black leather skirt, and black boots. In terms of particular references, the disco suit in particular is a reference to Saturday Night Fever. Also, in this room, there can randomly be a zombie chowing down on a dead woman. I don't know why that's not happening, but it's a random event. Randomization occurs in this game. Oh, that sounds like zombies eating. Oh, poor Dario. Yeah, he's dead. I think you can go over there and check his corpse for some dialogue, but I don't feel like taking out the zombies. I'm here for the more important stuff. Namely, I think it's 3A and 3B powders, which is very good. These are always here no matter what. They're not the randomized set. But it's still good to get these. In fact, I'm going to be making some C powders from these just so I can get some Magnum ammo. Dario's memo. I can't help but wonder if anyone will read these words, but writing them will help me maintain my sanity if nothing else. After I've become a meal for those undead monsters, will the GIs responsible for sealing off the town laugh upon discovering my corpse? So this is how it's supposed to end. I just don't want to die. I'm just not ready. My wife, daughter, mother, my entire family's been killed. None of that matters anymore. Right now, my life is the only important thing. That's all that matters. Scroll. I never would have pictured my end to be like this. I had so much left to do. Rather than becoming a salesman, I should have tried my hand at being a novelist. It's what I've always wanted, but my mother would only tell me you have a long way to go. Why did I ever listen to her? Scroll. But this looks like the end for the great Dario Rosso, novelist extraordinaire. Cut down before his prime. I kind of feel bad for the guy, but it's his fault for not coming with us. Mind you, the game-long escort mission isn't until the next installment, so... in this kind of game, I'm kind of glad. I could go into the save room here and mix those gunpowders, but I'll just head along my way to the next area. And with that, we can now head on to the actual plot stuff, though I think I might stop at a save room along the way just to fuse those powders. I honestly forget what I do. And as you see, I jump cut back to the area where the fire was, just to save some time. I took some hits along the way, as you can tell, namely those zombies in the room prior to this one, but oh well. Oh, hey, there's actually a zombie in that window. I never noticed that. There's some blue herbs there to cure poison if you get poisoned. I think the only thing that can poison you is coming up in this next room. Drain Damoses. Or are these brain suckers? I don't know. But we want to get the crank here. This is the item you need in order to do the other thing that I could have done in that area. Which I'll still do, but I have to go another way now. It's the price of doing my usual order.
Wait!
What did you do?
I had no choice. He was about to turn into a zombie. It would have been a threat, so I eliminated it.
But he was still conscious, wasn't he?
He was as good as dead. And it took fewer bullets to kill him now than it would have if he had transformed.
Well, that's just kind of rude, but over here we got a business fax. Order sheet. The liquid medicine named VT-J98 is suitable to cultivate the NET-type virus. Therefore, we will need to order additional quantities of it. UE6th Laboratory. Well, Umbrella's around. There's actually a typo in that, though. It's not supposed to be UE or any type virus. It's supposed to be NET-type specimens. Basically, Nemesis. It's a TV monitor. The main power's still on. Well, we should check that out. Let's check out that TV remote on the desk that kind of blends in somewhat. Manager's report. Before you begin your new position, allow me to give you some advice. Some of the medicine in the storage room are unstable, and their quality will deteriorate under changing temperatures or humidity. Therefore, you must remember to keep the temperature the same in the storage room at all times. You should personally check it every day. Although the computer checks it around the clock, a machine is not perfect. Try and remember that a machine is no more than a tool to be used by people. You must check all personnel coming and going from the storage room. Many dangerous drugs are stored there, and if any of them are missing, you have a serious problem on your hands. The door to the storage room is always locked, but when you let personnel into it, you'll need to have them hand in their documents, and above all else, remember that if you find anything suspicious, contact your boss immediately. If you forget the password to lock the door, try and remember that it is a word that everyone is familiar with. Don't forget that once a new product is shipped, the password will be updated again. You can always enter the password from the terminal for the PC for administration. And the password is randomized depending on your playthrough. Will we use a remote control? Sure. That's the password. It's just on the TV conveniently. It can be three things: Aquacure, Safsprin, or Adravil. Safsprin is the most common mathematically, though. And, well, now we can just enter that. Also, hello, reused assets from Resident Evil 2. Mind you, I think overall, more so than Resident Evil 1 to 2, I think 3 almost entirely reuses 2's... did I say that right? Yeah, 3 entirely reuses 2's engine. Yeah, there we go. So now we can head in there. I forget what's through that other door, honestly. Probably like an herb or maybe some ammo. Doesn't matter in the long run. And it's within here that the gunpowders are located that I've been talking about so far. The main thing you want to grab is that other item across. However, I'm going to just mix some powders just so I can make sure I get what I need. Thankfully, that left me with exactly 3 spots left, so I can still make a triple C, I think, out of it. And like I said before, triple C is probably the most useful thing, though I actually might make this into a double C. I forget what I do, honestly. Double C is also very useful, because that makes grenade freeze rounds, I believe. And next to the Magnum, or even probably more so than the Magnum, that does the most damage in the game to most enemies and boss fights, particularly Nemesis, I know, does a lot of damage to. Just the fact that, comparatively, Nemesis can actually dodge grenade rounds versus getting always hit by a Magnum. Oh, no, I guess I make a double C out of it and just make triple A's or B's. Either way, let's grab this. This is the oil additive. Sweet! And then Nikolai died? Carlos can also be here if you went here first, I believe. And these zombies are annoying, but the best way to take them out, use the steam against them. There are 2 steam ones. I think the first one's steam, I think the second one is like liquid nitrogen or something. You can just bypass a lot of them, but there's a lot there to help you in case you want to take them all out. Hello, Nikolai. Where are you? Entirely missing, it seems. Oh no, the door's through there. Either way, we're done in this area. We can now head back towards the... Oh, hi, Drain Deimos. Through the main area. Though I think I am going to go back and grab those other items I can get with the crank first. And if you didn't notice it, the oil additive is the last of the 4 items we need in order to access the trolley. In terms of where we are back where we saw Brad shoot those few zombies before heading into that restaurant where we had to either save him from a zombie or have him shoot the zombie himself. Why here? Well, you might remember there was a shutter here. We can use the crank to open this shutter. It's the only use that this crank gets in the game, actually. And I believe what's in here is always said. It's always 2 or 3 grenade rounds. I think I might only grab 2, though. If I do, I apologize. I just noticed the 3rd one. Oh, no, I noticed all 3. Good. Something I haven't gone over with the grenade launcher, even though I think I may have mentioned it in RE2, Claire A, is that the grenade launcher doesn't have an ammo limit on it. It can hold as many type of a round as you got, which is really useful, because that means you can have a gun with over 40 bullets in it, which, you know, cool. And as the note mentioned at one point, if you have a particular powder type, gunpowder type rather, by the way, we're back in the fire hose room just to save a little bit more time, you can actually mix it with plain grenade rounds to make a specific type, be it the flame, the acid, or the freeze rounds. I don't find it that worth it, but it's there if you want to do that. Huh. Where'd the dogs go? Hello, jump scare. That actually got me during recording. It's always the loud glass breaking ones that jump scare me the most, like the liquor and RE2B scenario in the interrogation room. God, they're good at the glass breaking. Live selection time. We're either going to have to climb up or drop down. Just climb up. It's much, much faster. You know, in retrospect, that wasn't very threatening at all. I should mention that there is a 3rd scenario for each live selection if you let the timer run out. But it's usually bad, so don't ever do it. And now we're back here. I believe it's here that I end up mixing those last gunpowders together. But make sure whatever you do, you grab as many of the items for the trolley as you can hold. You could theoretically save that until we get to the other save room that's along the way, the one that's in the T hallway near the city hall gate. And in fact, I think I actually do that. But make sure you also mix as much ammo as you want to make. Namely, I'm going to mix a 3C powder, which we can make 24 Magnum bullets from. One thing that the game barely touches on, though, and I'm not sure the exact specifics of how it works, is how leveling up with your gunpowder making works. Because the more you mix, the more bullets you can get out of stuff with a particular type. Like, at the start of the game, you can only get 15 handgun bullets per single A powder. But now I'm at the point where I can get, like, 17, I think. So something's going on there. Also, the way it works overall, the more of a... I may have mentioned this back in the part where we started doing that. But the more of a specific gunpowder type you have together in a bottle, like triple C or triple A, you're going to get extra bullets out of it. So it's generally more worth it to make gunpowder from a double A than a single A. If you have the option, that is. And I'm going to get out my grenade launcher just because it's going to be more useful coming up. I think I might store the shotgun. I honestly forget what I do. One thing's for sure, I should be putting the reloading tool back in the box, but I forget to do that every now and then. I actually remember I saw one Let's Play of this game years ago. I forget the guy who did it, but it was a blind playthrough of this. I remember the guy's mic wasn't the best. But he actually kept the reloading tool along the way with him, and that was pretty annoying to watch. Played it overall fairly well, though, for a blind playthrough. Either way, with that, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 6, we'll be heading back towards the trolley so we can make it move for once. See you guys then.